Hello beautiful people of YouTube, my name is Sckullie and welcome back. So the video footage that you guys are seeing here is me and Orvalis just displaying the devastating power that the Shedu does have when it is functioning, and thankfully during this 10-minute session it actually didn't bug on me, so hope you guys enjoy that. So ladies and gents, I'm gonna do it, and I tried to keep myself from doing it, but this is going to be a rant video about Railjack, about, again, Warframe, and, of course, the Shedu weapon. I finally was able to get my hands on it after grinding my way to 13 Mastery rank. It wasn't easy. It was a pain in the ass. And also, trying to grind out the parts for the Shedu was also a bit of a grind. If you've done it yourself, I'm sure you understand. That's not the problem. You know, grinding this game is a thing. I understand. What gets to me is when you put in a certain amount of work to get material in game, to get an item in game, to get something in game, and that something does not function as intended. As of right now, the Shedu is completely bugged. It functions at times, but at other times the weapon itself will stop firing. To me, I see this as just a kick in the pants. I don't quite understand how DE could get a weapon wrong, seeing how they release weapons constantly. It also upsets me that one of the main rewards for Railjack itself is completely bugged. So you spend all this time farming, you spend all this time grinding, just to get a reward that in its own right does not function as intended. Now let me just put this out there. I understand no development company is perfect, and at times when development companies release new material, there are chances of it being bugged, and it's especially when it comes to Warframe. But how long is it going to be until just releasing content is no longer an excuse for it to be buggy? And not only that, but one of the main rewards for doing Railjack itself. I'm gonna just put this out there. I'm one of those players who throw in money to the game because 1, I like the game, 2, I love the developers, and 3, I just have fun in general. It's a free game, so I figured I'd give money back. But it really, really, really disappoints me when the material in game, especially rewards at that, do not function as intended. If you were one of the unfortunate souls that got to be a part of Railjack in its first few days of release, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You spend all this time farming this material, especially if you didn't have most of it. Thankfully, I did, but most people, I'm pretty sure, didn't. Just to get an experience that was subpar and a beta at best. DE, I'm not asking you to be the be-all, end-all of all game development companies. I understand things happen, but how much longer is stuff like this going to happen? It makes your game look bad. I don't understand why you guys don't understand that. As a game development company, making sure that your material works before you publish it should be a big thing. On top of that, myself, being a content creator, how am I supposed to make your material look good if it doesn't function to begin with? I really like this game. I genuinely do, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything is okay when it's obviously not. I'm also not going to sit here and lie about it, especially to new viewers on my channel, maybe people who haven't played Warframe, if it's not the truth. I personally want better for this game, and it really disappoints me when I see a game that has so much potential making so many mistakes. You know, I want to make content for this game. There is so much to do in this game that for a free-to-play game, it's amazing. I want to be able to invite people in. I want this game to grow, you know, and I want to be one of those people who are responsible for doing that. I really do. But at the same time, I need to be honest with the people who are watching, for the possible new players who are watching, and I need to be honest to myself. You know, I've seen a lot of videos recently of veteran players who have just given up on the game for one reason or another, and I can completely understand. I'm not at that point yet, I'm still enjoying Warframe for what it is, but I can definitely understand why they chose what they chose. Another thing I want to talk about is the gameplay loop in this game. And although it works at least for the first 100 hours of playing, it gets old. It gets old. And what I'm specifically talking about is the grind. I'm talking about the time gates and the mastery lockouts, or just requirement lockouts. I can understand mastery lockouts, but requirement lockouts. That's basically how this game works. You're going to be facing one of those three things. You're either going to be mastery locked out, you're going to be time gated, or there's going to be a grind wall that you need to overcome to achieve anything in this game. And that gameplay loop in itself does not provide enough variation to keep most invested. And I feel like that's why Warframe sits with a certain player count and doesn't grow. I feel like DE is following this formula they feel like they've mastered, and they apply it to everything else. Valus and Plains of Eidolon are freaking boring. Are so freaking boring. I had to literally force myself to complete both the standings in Cetus, and I'm currently trying to force myself to complete Valus. Again, I understand that grind is a crucial part of this game. That is okay. But what I'm trying to say is there needs to be another way of engaging in the game, of completing things, that doesn't include one of these three things. Because that simple formula gets boring after the first 100 hours, no matter how invested you are in the game. For me, it is extremely boring. However, I do it because I always want to see what's next. I want to be a part of what's next, and I want to be in the know of what's going on. And for me to do that, I have to experience it in game. But that forces me to endure these grind walls, these mastery lockouts, these requirement lockouts, or being time gated. It's annoying. It's absolutely annoying. And I understand, DE, that especially when it comes to being time gated, that is where you guys make a lot of your money, because that's how you can pay, you can use platinum to pay to rush things or whatever. I get it. I feel like you guys right now are at a point in time where you need to make progression in the game something different, something traditional at least, so people don't feel like they're grinding constantly. It gets tiresome. It really does. No one wants to do the same missions over and over and over again. No one wants to do a quest over and over and over again because it's either most efficient or the only way you can do a certain piece of content in the game. No one wants to do that. People just want to play, play, and they want to progress doing what they want to do. Back on the topic of Valus and Cetus, the places where this game mode does excel would be, first of all, the change in gameplay. Being an open world is completely different. It's inviting, and it's new, it's refreshing, especially for a new player who's just been grinding the planetary missions. And at the beginning, yes, the open world areas, if you can call them that, are enjoyable. It's fun. But doing the same missions over and over and over and over again take away from all of that. Go here, shoot this. Go here, collect this. Defend this. Stop this. Capture this. Things need to be different, Another place where the open world areas excel would be the boss fights. We need more of that. We need lots more of that. I'm just gonna be upfront. Eidolons is actually one of my favorite pieces of content, or any of the boss fights that are in the open world areas is actually one of my favorite parts of doing open world content, because it's super engaging. These boss fights are really intense, and especially for a new player. There's so much you have to learn, so much you have to do to be able to defeat these bosses, that it makes it worth doing. It's fun to do, It's a challenge. And that's what, I guess in a sense, that's what I'm asking for, more of a challenge. More boss fights, if anything. You guys have these vast open areas, but you limit yourself to the same structure as the planetary map, when you can do so much more. Alright folks, so that is going to be the end of the video. Now, before I go, I just want to let you guys know that I have a Discord open to the public if you guys are interested in joining. I'm also looking for small content creators who like making awesome videos and would want to do something with me. Secondly, I have a Facebook and Twitter, so if you guys like getting notifications through any of those platforms, you guys can find the links for those also in the description and also on my channel page, and I would appreciate it if you guys would follow that as well. And yeah, so with all that said, I'd like to thank you guys for your time. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like. Also, if you're new to my channel, why not subscribe? I'd really appreciate it. My name is Sckullie, and I'm signing off. Goodbye.